What's up everyone, Brad Dalkey here, and welcome back to another Good Labs. Today, we're gonna be talking about the different style of putting grips you can use. So the first putting grip I'm going to talk about is the one that I use, and it's also the one that Tiger Woods has used basically his entire career. I love it, and that grip is it's conventional right hand below the left. This finger goes right in between these two middle fingers right here. I know some people kind of put this finger here, some people do this, and I'll talk about those in a second. But mine just goes right in between these two fingers. I just feel like it's very stable, but it also allows my hands to still have that feel for longer putts, and it's also just what I'm used to using. Been using it since I think like junior year of college, whenever my coach at OU had me switch to it because I was struggling with my putting at the time, and just used it ever since. So I really like that. I'm not sure what you call it. We'll call it the Tiger grip, or if you want to call it the Brad grip, I don't care. No, the Tiger grip is what I'll call it. It's just that finger right there. I like it a lot. The next grip that I'm going to talk about is just the conventional putting grip, just the most basic putting grip I think you could possibly have, and that is just where your right hand is lower than your left hand. And also all this is for righties. If you're lefty, obviously it'd be left hand lower, but I'm just going to talk for righties, and if you're lefty, it's just the opposite. But right hand lower, left hand on top, and there's no interlocking with any fingers, and there's no overlapping. It's just kind of like a baseball grip with the two thumbs going down like this, and that is just the most basic conventional putting grip. When you started playing golf, that's probably what you just automatically used, and some people still use it. People on tour I know still use this grip, and that's one other thing I want to talk about. These putting grips, PGA Tour pros and professional golfers, good golfers, you just have to find what you like, because so many pro golfers use so many different putting style grips. It depends on what feel you like, just kind of what feels good in your hands. So yeah, there's no one size fits all for any grip. You just got to figure out what you like. So yeah, conventional grip, most basic one there is. No interlocking, no overlapping, two thumbs down the shaft. That's it. The next grip I want to talk about is actually what Max, who's filming, he says that he uses this grip. So it is the interlock, and this is what I use in my full swing, just a conventional interlock grip. If this is conventional, you get your left pointer finger and your right pinky. You just interlock those right there, and that's why it's called the interlock. So I'm not personally a huge fan of this for putting, but again, everyone has different feels. Everyone likes different things with their putting grips. I don't love this one just because I feel like it puts a little too much wrist into it for me. But yeah, that's the interlock grip. That's about all I gotta say about that. The next grip is the overlap. So this is also another grip that a lot of people use for their full swing. Yeah, the overlap is just like the interlock. You get this, well, you actually keep this pointer finger on the club. You take your right pinky and you just place it right here in this little seam between the knuckles, and then just grip it from there. So this one's pretty good. I feel like similar to the interlock for me, I feel like it still puts a little too much wrist in the stroke. The reason you interlock and overlap on these grips is just because it makes these hands get closer together, a little more stability for the face. But for me, again, still feels a little bit too wristy. But yeah, again, another putting stroke, just like the interlock, really good for full swing. A lot of people like it, this one for putting as well. Yeah, there's the overlap. It's just putting your pinky right there. And by the way, I have huge pinkies if you didn't know already.
Your pinky is my pointer.
Oh man. Next one is another overlap, but it's just the reverse overlap. So same thing, except instead of putting your right pinky on top right here, you're gonna put your left pointer finger in between this seam. So instead of here where the normal overlap was, you're gonna take this finger and put it right here. And again, you're not interlocking anything, it's just setting it there, overlapping it, but it's with your left pointer finger instead of your right pinky. So that's why it's called the reverse overlap. I honestly like this one a lot more than the regular overlap, just because it is close to mine. Mine is literally just kind of putting it in the different set of knuckles. So that's the overlap, this is mine, that's the Tiger grip. So I feel like it's closer to mine, so I actually like the reverse overlap probably the most out of any other grip. I feel like it makes the hands a little slightly more stable than doing the normal overlap. But yeah, this one's a really good one if you're struggling with putting. I'd say this one would be one of the first ones you try, just because for me, I know personally it just feels really good for me, so hopefully it will for you too. All right, now we're gonna get into some of the more slightly unconventional grips. This one and the next one aren't too unconventional, but slightly more than what we've been talking about. So this one's a finger down the shaft.
Is that the name of it?
I don't know. We're gonna go finger down the grip at least. Maybe it sounds a little better. But yeah, this one's a finger down the grip, finger down the shaft, whatever you wanna call it. I'm sure there's actually a real name for it, but That's what I call it. So basically with these fingers, you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can do conventional, you can do reverse overlap, interlock, whatever you want with these. What you do with this one is you literally just put this right pointer finger right down the grip, right down the edge of the grip. I personally do not like this one. It just has not been for me, but again, a lot of pros have used it, a lot of really good players have used it, and I think it's just because they have a feeling of being able to push like the putter grip with that finger. It kind of gives them like a backing right there, if that makes sense. Definitely try it, and I'm sure you've probably seen people using this grip. Definitely try it if you are struggling with putting. Try any of these grips if you're that desperate with putting. I have been there. I've been desperate enough to where I will try anything to be able to get the ball in the hole. Again, anything you want down here with these fingers and all that, but just make sure you put that finger right down the edge of the grip right there. The next one is very famous. Lots of guys on tour use it. I've done it in the past every once in a while, not very often, if I just need to change something up. So I've changed it in the middle of the round before in tournaments, just needed to change something up, but that is cross-handed. Obviously a conventional grip for a right-handed golfer is gonna have the right hand lower, left hand on top, and cross-handed just switches that. So your right hand will be on top, left hand will be lower. Usually when I go cross-handed, I will overlap right here, my left pinky going on top of here. And there's so many different ways. You can cross hand with the finger on the shaft, you can cross hand with interlock, you can basically, any of the grips we've been talking about, you can do just opposite with the hands on different sides of the clubs. So yeah, cross-handed, as simple as switching from here, which is conventional, right hand on top, left hand down here for a right-handed golfer. And then you can do whatever you want with all these other fingers. What people really like about the cross-handed grip, and what I like about it sometimes too, is if you have trouble with your wrist breaking, so say you have a lot of wrist movement in your stroke, cross-handed can really make this left wrist and hand feel really firm to where it's not gonna break like that. It can kind of have a feeling where you just keep this really steady and just like stroke the entire arm towards the hole. Kind of just keeps that putter head moving forward without much wrist movement. So that's why people like it a lot. So if you need to kind of radically change your putting grip, I guess it's not too radical, but if you really need to change something, I would definitely try cross-handed, especially on short putts. Short putts can be good because that less wrist movement can keep the face stable, which is really good for short putts. Now we're gonna be getting into some of the much more unconventional putting grips, and shout out to Garrett Clark for this one, the claw. I'm sure y'all have seen Garrett use this many times and in the good videos and all that. He tends to go to it when his putting is not feeling very good, which is understandable. It's kind of nice to have that little safety net if it's just not feeling good and you just need to fix something or change something. But with the claw, you just grip this, your left hand on top, so it's not cross-handed. Left hand goes back on top. And then this right hand, you just kind of form like this with your hand, and you just put that right here. What you really want to do with the claw, well, I mean, there's different ways to do it. Some people like to have their arm here, but the most conventional, if you look at this from the angle of the camera, you want this part of the arm to kind of line up with this, like the putter grip. So from the side, you don't want it to be here, you don't want it to be here. You want it to kind of line up right there and make a straight line somewhat right here. People like this because it gets their forearms aligned with the grip, like I just said, and they can just it just makes the stroke a lot smoother if you do it correctly. But it also puts a lot of just mainly left hand into the club. So some people like that. Some people like to control the putter with the left hand. Some people don't. So it's all a preference. You might try it and absolutely hate it. You might try it and love it. So I'd at least give it a try and see what you think. The next one is another unconventional one, similar to the claw, but it's the pencil. Basically the pencil, again, just like the claw, left hand just goes on there. And then the pencil, you just go, so instead of this with the claw, you just take your pointer finger and your thumb, and you just put them right here. You can kind of, again, you can have some variants where you put it, you can have it a little more like this, you can have it here, kind of more under, truly just whatever feels more comfortable. But it's just putting two fingers on there. Like I said, the claw kind of takes the right hand out of it, but just mainly makes it where you're mainly just putting with your left hand, and the pencil completely takes the right hand out of it. So you're basically just putting it with your left hand and letting the right one just kind of go for a ride on the putter grip. It obviously still has a little bit of effect. It's not just gonna have no effect on your stroke, but it really just takes that right hand out of it, which the left hand is gonna be harder to break in the stroke. It's gonna be harder to kind of flip that wrist. So that's why having that left hand in the stroke can help if you're really wristy. Next is two very unconventional putting grips, and you actually have to buy different putters to be able to use them. But the first one is the arm lock. The arm lock, I just have a conventional putter, so I'm gonna do my best to explain how to do the arm lock with this. An arm lock putter, the grip will be about, I don't know, say to there. So it'll be from where it is now, probably about 5-6 inches longer. What you do is you'll be gripping it down on the shaft. So again, this grip goes down to here. You'll be gripping it down, and this hand would go here. The loft on the arm lock is like, I wanna say it's like 10, 12 degrees. So it's a lot more degrees than a normal putter, which I think is like 3 or 4 degrees. So this putter's gonna be like this. The reason for that is because when you arm lock, you get this putter head and you rest it on this forearm. That's obviously gonna put a lot of forward lean with the putter, so that's why there's a lot more degrees on an arm lock putter. But it'd be like this, and obviously it'd be longer too, so I wouldn't be having to bend down this much. And then that way you can grip it pretty much how you want. You can do whatever grip you want, but this grip is just gonna be running along the forearm. Like I said, this grip would be down to here, so my hand wouldn't actually be on the shaft. Just like that, just as long as this is leaning against the forearm. And as of right now, it's not illegal. They obviously banned anchoring with broomsticks and belly putters. Somehow arm lock is not anchoring. I don't really understand that, but as of right now, it's still legal. So you can still do it. Again, you'd have to go buy a new putter, an arm lock style putter, but it does keep your wrists and everything very stable because it's all just staying right here. Yeah, so it might be the grip for you if you want to try it. The last grip I will be talking about is the broomstick, or the chest putter, long putter. Obviously, I don't have a broomstick here with me, so just bear with me. Imagine this putter was like a foot longer. Basically, before they banned anchoring, you would just shove the putter right here in the sternum of your chest, and you would just kind of anchor it right there, anchor that point, and then you just move your right hand back and through. And obviously they banned anchoring, like I said, I think it was 6 to 8 years ago or something like that. But people still use the broomstick. A lot less people do, but people still do. And what they do is they will have the putter just away. They won't be anchoring. They won't be touching their chest at all. They just have it away from them, and then they'll do it. So some people do the claw with it, some people do pencil, some people hold it regular. Yeah, the broomstick, personally, I hate the broomstick. I don't know how people do it, especially, like I can see how people could do it whenever it was anchoring. Even then, I didn't really like it. But now that you have to hold a putter away from you, for me, I don't see a point, but a lot of people do still like it, and some people putt really well with it. Thank y'all so much for watching another Good Labs video. I hope y'all learned something in this video, and again, I've been there before where I'm desperate with a putter and I just need to figure out something to be able to get the ball in the hole. And if that's you right now, just try these grips out and see if you like one of them. I've tried just about every single one I've talked about, and obviously, like I said, I have my preferences and the ones I don't like, and everyone's different. So you might like something I hate, who knows? But make sure you try them out. Also, make sure the Super Stroke Good grips are live right now. So make sure you go grab one on goodgoodgolf.com. They're awesome. Super Stroke is a brand that we all know, everyone knows, and it's so cool that we're now partnering with them. It's pretty cool, and it looks freaking sweet too. The baby blue is unbelievable. So, but yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We're getting this Good Labs ramped up again, and I'm super excited about that. Super excited to be able to try to help y'all out with your golf games as much as I can. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.